Donald Trump was too scared to show up at the Super Bowl last night, knowing that he was going to get booed. So he watched the Super Bowl at Mar-a-Lago, funded by the taxpayers. I think he forgot to wear his makeup. I mean, look at him right there. I've never seen his face look that white, but that's what he looks like. He was surrounded by Lindsay Halligan, the fake United States attorney from the Eastern District of Virginia, who was declared to be an illegal prosecutor when she prosecuted Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James. Then you also have Natalie Harp, who has been called Donald Trump's human printer. She follows him around with printers and gives him news articles. You see them right there. I don't see Melania. I see Lindsey Graham sitting there. If you look at the back screen, they were watching the NFL halftime show, not the Turning Point one. You can see Bad Bunny in the background. And then after watching the halftime show, Donald Trump posted the following message, to which our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, wrote, "Angry old man," maybe you should say with dementia, weighs in from his Palm Beach country club. Here's what Donald Trump posted. "The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense, is an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying." Yes, people do. And the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. As opposed to what? The Turning Point one, where Kid Rock, who has lyrics about underage girls? You want them to watch the underage girl one. Oh, got it. Makes sense. After all, you are watching this in Mar-a-Lago, which was at the heart of Epstein's sex trafficking. So, okay. I mean, that's where underage girls were sex trafficked, like Virginia Giuffre, but go on. Donald Trump says, "This show is a slap in the face to our country." A slap in the face. So as Governor Gavin Newsom of California, the Super Bowl was in San Francisco. He's also the former mayor of San Francisco. He says, "So this is the message MAGA is protesting? Bad Bunny's football to close his Super Bowl halftime show. Together, we are America." As we wrote on the MeidasTouch account, Bad Bunny's closing message during a Super Bowl performance: "The only thing more powerful than hate is love. Together, we are America." Governor Newsom writes, "America the beautiful. Thank you, Bad Bunny." Do you see the contrast there between Newsom's message and Donald Trump's message? Or how about the contrast here between former President Obama's message and Donald Trump's message? You have former President Obama post the following. Let's pull it up right here. Obama talks about how, let me pull it up. Obama says, "Congratulations to the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. This defense was special. MVP Kenneth Walker was dominant, and Sam Darnold gave us one of the best comeback stories in a long time. Enjoy the celebration." And then a day before that, Obama wrote, "To all the athletes representing Team USA, I'm so proud of you. Your talent and perseverance have brought you to this moment, and Michelle and I will be joining Americans from across the country and cheering you on." Whereas Donald Trump posted, "U.S. Olympic skier Hunter Hess, a real loser, says he doesn't represent his country in the current Winter Olympics. If that's the case, he shouldn't have tried out for the team, and it's too bad he's on it. Very hard to root for someone like this. Make America great again!" Exclamation point. Because this whole MAGA movement, it's not a political thing. These are just hateful, evil, disgusting people who spew hate and want to hurt and punch down. That's all they do. I mean, look at Carrie Lake, as David Korn writes. So this woman, Carrie Lake, she's in charge of the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which is supposed to serve and represent the best American values. So after John Kasich wrote, "Love the halftime show, which celebrates the wonderful Latino culture. Great pick and great show. Bad Bunny hit a grand slam home run." Carrie Lake responds, "You really are a pussy." That's the response. You really are the P word? And I hate saying words like that, but I had to read it because that's how these people talk. These people are gross, evil humans who just spew this toxic filth. These are gross people. This is how Fox describes the halftime show, which was beautiful. Objectively, it was beautiful. I would have liked maybe if Bad Bunny would have said something like get ICE out or abolish ICE. I would have liked that. He didn't go there even. All he said was, and I think this is why he didn't, he could prove his point by not even having to say that and say America's beautiful. Let's all come together. Love over hate. And that triggers these MAGAs because they're hateful people. This is how Fox wrote about it. Bad Bunny's halftime show, ripped for language barrier, suspected political message. The hell are you even talking about right there? Can we get as outraged as state regime media and MAGA is about that lovely halftime show as, I don't know, the fact that Donald Trump is at the center of the Epstein files cabal based on the fact that his name appears? In my opinion, that's why he's at the center, because his name appears. This is not an opinion. This is where his name appears. 38,000 references to him and 5,000 documents. He's one of like the central characters if you just go by the amount of time his name appears. Or just in general, maybe y'all should be outraged that there's still 3 million missing documents. Or maybe y'all should be outraged that people in Trump's cabinet as well, like Howard Lutnick and other, lied about their relationship. Maybe you should see in the UK, they're close to toppling their Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. The chief of staff was fired. The ambassador to the United States went. We're seeing across the world a reckoning. But here in the United States, at the heart of the Epstein cabal, Mar-a-Lago, where they're watching the Super Bowl, maybe Fox, maybe you get just a fraction of your outrage at Bad Bunny. Maybe you divert that attention to people who are involved in child sex trafficking and the cover-up. Like, maybe your reporting could be how Ghislaine Maxwell, after speaking with Donald Trump's former criminal defense attorney turned number 2 at the Department of Justice, Todd Blanche. Remember a few months back, everybody? You remember, Ghislaine spoke with Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's deputy attorney general, his former criminal defense lawyer. She didn't invoke the Fifth Amendment. The Congress's Oversight Committee had Ghislaine for a deposition on August 9th or August 12th, sometime in August like that. And she said, I can't be deposed then because I'm appealing to the Supreme Court her conviction for child sex trafficking. Remember? Well, the Supreme Court rejected that appeal. She's she's a criminal, a child sex trafficker. She gets rewarded by the Trump regime for not invoking the Fifth and lying to Trump's former criminal defense attorney turned number 2 at the DOJ, Todd Blanche. And she's moved to a minimum security facility in Camp Bryan, Texas, Club Fed, where she gets VIP treatment. And anyone at that minimum security facility who actually belongs in the minimum security facility, unlike her, because child sex traffickers are not allowed there, but she got an exemption from Trump and the Bureau of Prisons and Todd Blanche. Anyone who speaks out against her, they get moved to maximum security facilities because she gets special treatment. So she now is saying that she will not be testifying at her deposition today before the House Oversight Committee. She's going to do a blanket invocation of the Fifth Amendment. She won't even let members of Congress ask her questions. Well, you have Ro Khanna, Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, said, here are the questions I intend to ask you. So if you're going to invoke the Fifth to these questions, you think these questions will incriminate you today? By the way, don't you all think that Fox and right-wing media and all these people who get mad at Bad Bunny and are like, Kid Rock, yeah, don't you think they should be as mad that she is saying that these questions, if she answered, would incriminate her? Like, on December 17, 2025, you filed a habeas corpus petition stating that 4 named co-conspirators and 25 men who entered into secret settlements were not indicted as part of the investigation. Is that statement accurate? She thinks that would incriminate her, and that's why she has to invoke the Fifth, even after she has no more appeals to go, and even though she spoke to Todd Blanche, Trump's criminal defense attorney, and lied through her teeth. How about this question? Who are the 4 co-conspirators and the 25 men other than Jeffrey Epstein who sexually abused minors at Epstein's Island, his New Mexico ranch, or his New York residence? And why do you believe they were not indicted? She believes that question will incriminate her, so she's going to invoke the Fifth and not answer. How about this one? What information, evidence, or personal knowledge do you have regarding why these individuals were not charged or prosecuted by federal authorities? Or question 4, it is well documented that you, President Donald Trump, and Mr. Epstein had a social relationship, and there are several photographs of you together. Did you or Mr. Epstein ever arrange, facilitate, or provide access to underage girls to President Trump? Ghislaine Maxwell is saying that if she answered that question, it would incriminate her, so she has to invoke her Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination to answer a question about Trump and underage girls. Just think about that. Maybe right-wing media should be outraged about that. Maybe regardless of if you're left-wing, right-wing, center, whatever, independent, who cares? Shouldn't this just piss you off as a human being? What I'm reading to you right now? How about this question? After Trump publicly stated that he would look at a possible pardon for you, did you or anyone acting on your behalf have any discussions with him or his representatives about a pardon or a reduced sentence in exchange for your silence? She's refusing to answer that question, and she's invoking her Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination, saying that question would incriminate her. What client list or records did you or Mr. Epstein maintain that document the identities of clients or associates? She refuses to answer that question. How about this one? Please identify any foreign governments or intelligence services, including those associated with Russia and Israel, that Mr. Epstein shared information with or otherwise acted on behalf of, and describe the nature or purpose of any such relationships. She's saying all of those questions would incriminate her if she had to answer. Let's check in with right-wing podcaster Tim Dillon. Here's what he has to say about the fact that Republicans are now focused on deposing former President Clinton and Hillary Clinton versus everything that I just shared with you. And it should be noted, just think about it. Former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have agreed to testify publicly in front of the world on the Epstein files. They want a camera so it's transparent, and they're willing to sit for however long it takes. And the House Oversight Committee, run by Republicans, are saying, no, we don't want that. It needs to be done in secret. Okay? But when it's Ghislaine Maxwell, they're saying, you don't even have to answer the questions. We're not going to do a public hearing. We're going to keep it quiet and secret. How does that make any sense? You're treating the convicted child sex trafficker better than the former president and the former Secretary of State, who both want to testify publicly. Don't we all want to hear them testify publicly? They're willing to testify publicly. Now the Republicans are fighting to keep that secret. It's pure madness that Trump's like, oh, Clinton's my buddy. Bill's my friend. I don't want to see him have to go through any of this. So we're just going to keep it private. Why? Because he's standing up to you and saying that he wants to testify publicly? The hell is going on here? Here's what Tim Dillon had to say. Play this clip.
Trump would rather these things go away. But Thomas Massey, Ro Khanna, other people, they're pushing it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, pushing it. These things come out. The Republicans now go, we want Bill Clinton to testify because we want to play political points with this, because the Republicans still think this is a political issue, bless their hearts. The Republicans still think that this is a political issue. And this is not a political issue. It's about who goes to the fish. Trump knows a couple of people went to the fish. Now, the Clintons know it too.
And here's what he had to say about Kash Patel over here as well. And why Kash Patel's such a freaking liar. Here, play this clip.
You don't have to be the director of the FBI to see that this guy's trafficking women. He's trafficking underage women. You don't have to be so Kash Patel's a liar. He's a big, fat liar. He's a liar, and he should resign and step down because he's lying. Why is he lying? Why would he tell such a fib? That is a lie. It is a lie, and he's bad at it. He's terrible at it. And we knew it was a lie when he said it. And now it's such a lie, it's actually funny. It's like a junkie who's like, no, man, I'm just tired. Like, we know you're on drugs. He's lying. And he knows he's lying.
I just think it's important that you know that that's what a right-wing podcaster is saying right there. So we'll keep you posted every step of the way. I'm going to do a video shortly on Trump's betrayal again of Ukraine, how Trump is planning on entering into a fake deal with Russia for $12 trillion. Russia's promised $12 trillion. It's a made-up number. Their GDP is $2 trillion a year. It's just making this up. And now Trump's withholding the PAC-3 missile system for the Patriot systems in order to allow Russia to attack Ukraine more. And Ukraine's air defense system is being negatively impaired by the Trump regime. We saw attacks in Odessa last night, and Kherson and Kharkiv and Kyiv and all these areas before. Massive ballistic strikes. I mean, we're talking about way more than multiples of ballistic missile strikes, more than under former President Biden is taking place right now. Zelensky's very courageous, though. I'll do a video on that. I'll do a video shortly as well on the secrets of the New Mexico ranch of Epstein. He had a ranch in Santa Fe that we've read the files, and it shows that the feds told the local authorities in Santa Fe, the local AG, don't investigate. We've got it. And then the feds didn't investigate the Santa Fe ranch. And that was the site where I think some of the most horrific sex assault, sex trafficking was taking place in the Santa Fe ranch. And it was never subject to any investigation at all. No investigation of the ranch. No subpoenas, no nothing. The hell? Anyway, hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks everybody for watching.
New Midas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.